Hey everybody, this particular video is specific to setting up a business, and I'm still new in the process here, as you know, but I have done some research and talked with some people about setting up a business entity in the US, and just wanted to share some of my findings and the things that I'm deciding to do when it comes to setting up a business. For you, it may be completely different depending on where you live and what you find may be the best for you. So don't necessarily follow exactly what I've done, but just here's some information that I've learned as I've started to figure out what to do when it comes to setting up a business entity to run my Amazon business through. So as you can see, we're here on the Marketplace Superheroes Facebook page. What I did was came to do some research, started looking up different things. I looked up how to set up a business entity. As you can see here, I looked up LegalZoom. I've considered using LegalZoom to set up my business entity, and that's actually ultimately what I've done, and I'll kind of talk a little bit about that. But this is something that you don't necessarily need to do right away. You can take some time before deciding how you want to set up your business entity or how you want to do that. But I've decided to go ahead and do it now. I haven't found any products yet. I haven't gone through that process, but I want to be ready for when I do. And I know that I'm all in on making this work. And so I know I'm going to need the business entity to do that once I start finding some products. So in my research, there's a lot of great stuff, a lot of great posts from different people on here. A lot of people particularly mention this Robert Wright individual. Stephen and Robert here actually refer to him and mention that he's got some great stuff on it. So I've read some things from him, and he has some good information. Really, what he recommends and what I've found is to just register in the place where you live. As far as what state, if you're in the US, registering in the state that you live in is probably the best way to go. It's just less headache and hassle. It keeps things cleaner. But one particular post from Robert Wright that I found helpful, as soon as I find it here, he posted some images that are just summaries of the different tax rates for different states. So you can kind of see here what the different rates are for the different states. One thing to remember is that each state's going to have kind of a renewal fee that you have to pay. So it's not just the initial setup fee, but there's renewal fees. And not all states do, but most of them do. And there's annual reporting requirements and things of that nature for some states. So this is a good resource to come and take a look at. This is just part of the summary. There's a second page here. It's in it. So you can kind of take a look at that. And again, you can just search for this. I actually found this by looking up LegalZoom to see if other people were using that. And I found this post from this Daniela who asked questions about setting up a business entity and found all this great information on it. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and applied through LegalZoom. Of course, you're going to pay a fee to LegalZoom to do this, and I've decided to do that. But I've gone the economy route to make it a lot cheaper. They'll do as much or as little as you want them to. So that's something that you can consider and take a look at. And I don't expect to have my LLC set up for probably a month since I did the economy route. They'll set it up and let me know. But I also do need to apply for an employer identification number, which I'll probably wait to do. This is something you can do instantly online at the IRS website. It's something that LegalZoom will do for you if you want, but you can also come here and do it yourself pretty quickly. But I'm going to wait until I have that entity set up, and then I'll go ahead and apply for my EIN. And then I'll also need to go to the state and receive a license through the state. again, you can have LegalZoom do that if you want, to pay them to do it, or you can do it yourself. And then once that's all done, then I'm going to go to my city and register with the city as well. You may not need to do all those steps depending on where you are. Different rules apply in different states and different cities, and so you'll just have to kind of do some research for yourself and find out what needs to happen. But that's my plan. That's the process I've gone through so far. And once I have all that set up, I should be ready to go. You can always hire an expert to take a look at things, like a CPA or a legal expert that specializes in these types of things. And certainly there's going to be a cost to having them set those things up, but many of them will consult with you for free. And so you can kind of go out and find out what's best for you. But that's the process that I've gone through to this point and the way that I plan to set things up. So I'm setting up an LLC here in the United States. And once I get further into my business and start to decide to sell in Europe or other places, there's a lot of information on this Facebook thread about doing that as well. And I believe it sounds like that Robert and Stephen in future modules actually talk about how to do that, how to set that up, and how to expand into other countries. And so I'm sure there'll be more information on that as I get down the road. But that's it. And let me know if you have any questions or comments. Don't forget to subscribe for future videos, and we'll see you next time.